Hey, yo, say hello to the bad guy, Scott Hall, and I've got a scoop for you. And we all know there's a lot of podcasts out there, but I encourage you to check out this one. It's called Going In Raw. You heard it here first. Going In Raw.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
Yeah, Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steven Larson. Available wherever podcasts can be found, and of course taped live at the Twitch at twitch.tv/Steve and Larson. Nothing going on in terms of streaming for us at the Twitch channel this weekend. Next weekend, of course, we've got WrestleMania nights 1 and 2, as we were reminded endlessly from Michael Cole. Tonight, SmackDown was the penultimate episode of SmackDown before WrestleMania.
Let me ask you this. When Vince was on Pat McAfee's show, he said they went with stupendous as kind of like the marketing word for WrestleMania because you'd have to go and look it up.
Yeah.
That was his explanation for it.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know. I remember.
Yeah. He said we thought stupendous was good because people would have to go look and see what it meant.
What? Why would anybody have to know what that? Everybody knows what that word means.
I thought so too. So I was maybe, they were telling Michael Cole say penultimate.
Yeah, I wondered if Michael Cole had just learned the word penultimate recently. Yeah, I don't know. It was everywhere. But anyway, so nothing's going on over here. I might do some streaming over at twitch.tv/Steve here. Who knows? Maybe. But our friendos over at Church of Joshi, of course, part of the Church of Friendos faction that we got going, they're raising some money so they can go to the Roseland 3 Prestige Wrestling Show.
Yes.
And that's happening tomorrow, I believe, at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, at twitch.tv/KaylaVision. They're having a dance party, man. According to their little thing here on the Instagram, it says there's going to be prizes.
Ooh.
Surprises, guests, music, and most importantly, drinks.
Ooh.
It's last but not least. It's drinks right here.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. So go check that out at twitch.tv/KaylaVision. Should be a good time. I might hop in too. I have the link, so I might just click, and then do my little clown show.
You dance too?
Have a couple drinks and then shuffle off. Yeah, I might do that. Oh, vibes also? Or there's going to be vibes there? Kayla's in our chat. She's saying there's going to be vibes there.
Vibes as well.
Hilton, can we confirm there's going to be vibes?
I can guarantee you Hilton's not, you're looking at a wall, at a corner. That's what you're looking at right now. Having been to your office.
Yes. Hilton says yes, there's vibes.
There's no Hilton there. You're talking to a wall.
You don't know? Hilton could be in the corner over there. Anyways.
Highly doubtful.
We're going to I know, we're just stalling and talking about SmackDown. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Rampage. But first, sad last days of Triple H's in-ring career, apparently, today.
Yes. He appeared on Stephen A. Smith's ESPN Plus show, Stephen A's World, and before they released the full interview, they had a little snippet they released on Twitter that was on First Take today. In that snippet, he confirmed that, in fact, his in-ring career has come to an end due to the cardiac event he suffered last September. These transcripts come to you from Fightful. So he had to say, quote, "For me, as far as in-ring, I'm done. I will never wrestle again. I have a defibrillator in my chest, which is not a good idea for me. Zapped on live TV. I was already at a place in my career as far as the in-ring goes where I was comfortable being done and finished. If the right thing came along, I hadn't really said much, but if the right thing came along and they wanted me to do it, I had a conversation with Vince McMahon about doing something at WrestleMania this year in Dallas. We had talked about, and there were plans for. Obviously, when this happened, shut all that down. As far as the schedule, WWE is an intense place. It's 24/7, and you're running. It put things in perspective for me." And then he talked more about the cardiac event itself that led to his retirement. And so these transcripts from Fightful are based. This batch is based on the clip that was released in advance from First Take. ESPN put the full interview up on their YouTube, I believe, and he flushes out some of the details here about the heart issue. Apparently, his dad, his grandfather's great grandfather, all had heart issues at a relatively young age.
Yeah.
And so, genetic in nature.
Yeah,
They were thinking his heart problems.
This sounds the actual cardiac event. He talks about that, and it sounds horrible.
Yeah,
he says he said this. He says from the viral pneumonia. He says I had fluid in my lungs, fluid around my heart. He says they followed up on it, did an EKG. He says, basically the way your heart pumps out, it's 55 to 65% of your ejection fraction is a good number. So 55 to 65 is a good number. He says he was at 30. He says, I had a quick text message saying, don't take time. Pack a bag. We'll head to the emergency room. I'll fill you in on the way. By the time I got to the emergency room, my ejection fraction had gone to 22. He says, I was in heart failure, bad. By the next morning, as they figured that out in the evening, the next morning I was setting in to get an MRI done and about to go in for a heart cath. He says, my ejection fraction was down to 12%. He says, I was nosediving and at the 1 yard line of where you don't want to be. He says, and he gets really choked up here. I watched this part of the interview.
He does.
He says, for your family and your future, when they tell you it's 99%, it gets real. He says, we have 3 young girls, 15, 13, and 11. Suddenly I come home and I'm a little bit sick, and their dad, who is strong always, suddenly is in the hospital. He says, I don't know if they understood the consequences of it, but there are moments in there when they're putting you out for stuff and you think, is this it? Do you wake up again? That's tough to swallow. It makes you think differently about life. It doesn't make you any less driven with the things you do, but it certainly makes you appreciate the things you have, your friends, and your family, which leads to him talking about his work at WWE.
Yeah. So, as well as talking about his in-ring career being over, he did mention that he is back working at WWE headquarters. He says, my foot is not off the gas in some manner. I have to step back a little bit. I'm still in recovery. My endurance is not quite what it used to be before. I'm back in the office. I'm fully focused on recruiting and developing our talent for the future. Whether it's at the Performance Center, find the next young stud that's out there, male or female. Gable Steveson, 2-time NCAA champion, gold medal at the Olympics. His next step is with WWE. With us, it's finding that and creating that future. That's the biggest focus for me as we move forward from there. It's making sure WWE is a success for generations to come again. All those transcripts courtesy of Fightful.
Yeah. I mean, whatever the WWE schedule, it does seem pretty nuts.
Yes.
And I mean, this is something that Eric Bischoff has talked about during his short stint a couple of years ago as executive vice president or whatever it was. Was it executive? It was executive director, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Of Smackdown. That lasted like 2 weeks, maybe.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, man, I don't want to take meetings at 2:00 in the morning. That sounds miserable." And yeah, like running as hard as he was running. And then on top of, I mean, I have no idea if, what happened with AEW and NXT and all that would play into the stresses involved. That would be pure speculation and irresponsible. But you got to I would think, generally speaking, there are just stresses that come with the job.
Yeah, he was saying before he came down with the viral pneumonia, he said he was like on a 12-day stretch where he was just traveling all over the place.
Yeah.
Like cross-country flights. They had SummerSlam in the midst of all that. And he said towards the tail end of that, he started feeling a bit run down, thought it might be COVID-related, got tested, came back negative, and then it got to the point where he's feeling lousy. He said he coughed up some blood, and Steph's like, you got to get this checked out.
Yeah. And it's a good thing he does. A lot of people that if there's anything ever abnormal, man, go to the doctor. Go. I know healthcare is shit in this country and everything, but like, if you can, go get it checked out because you never know what they're going to come back with. So yeah, I mean, we had sort of figured when something happens like that's dubbed a cardiac event, and when he's been sort of on radio silence for a while now since then, you sort of just figure not going to expect a whole lot of Triple H, if any at all, ever in the ring again. And he's confirming that here. He's basically saying he's retired from in-ring. But I mean, even over the last couple of years, he did the DX match against Kane and Undertaker, and like he tore his pec, and then he had a little thing with, I think, Orton on one of the empty arena Raws.
Well, he had his last televised match was at that Super Showdown?
Was it Super Showdown, or was it? I thought it was that episode of Raw that it was like an empty arena Raw.
Oh, was it episode of Raw?
Where it was like he was like in his dress slacks or jeans or something, and it was like when Orton was dealing with the Fiend. I don't know. Again, this might be just me completely misremembering everything. I have no idea.
Well, his last televised match was June 7th, 2019, against Orton in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, okay.
his last televised match. Now the thing with Orton when he was with the Slacks, that might not have been a match.
Okay, that might be the case.
I think he was just a confrontation. I guess he had an untelevised match June 29th, 2019, where I believe it was him and Nakamura. Yeah, Hip Hop Hippo has it here. Him and Nakamura against Bob Roode and Samoa Joe.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. So, yeah. I mean, look, the guy has a legendary career in every way, shape, and form. He's always been, like, even back in the day, he was like my guy. I loved him because he would always get out that sledgehammer. He'd do anything to win. He really did. It was funny because Triple H was the kind of guy, he played up being like the ultimate heel. But at the same time, it's funny because, we were listening to the Survivor Series 2003 podcasts about this stuff, like the Bruce Pritchard stuff, when we did the review of it a month ago. And he had a respect for history. Apparently, like, Bruce Pritchard never wanted to bring that big gold belt back, and Vince wasn't really huge on it, but Triple H was like, I like the big gold belt. It's history. I want that to be my belt. And he really made that belt when it was reintroduced to the WWE. And yeah, I mean, we can go on and on talking about Triple H. Everybody knows what he brought to the industry. There's his in-ring career.
There's NXT.
Yeah.
Him kind of helping a whole new generation of wrestlers make their way through the landscape of WWE and bringing a lot of really great names from the independents into WWE, making them household names.
Yeah. I mean, his philosophy in NXT is basically it was the basis for AEW. I mean, you can see it right now in the DNA of AEW. It's just AEW had the money and resources and savvy to do it outside of the constrictive WWE umbrella, and it's succeeding pretty wildly. So, and WWE's meanwhile running in the opposite direction.
So, as evidenced by tonight's SmackDown.
As evidenced I meant philosophically with their talent, but in terms of succeeding wildly, tonight's SmackDown did not do that. It'll still double the ratings of Dynamite inexplicably because this was recap heavy. It was boring. Look, next week's SmackDown is probably going to be pretty killer. It's got the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. It's WrestleMania SmackDown, so it's like an arm of WrestleMania.
Yeah, essentially like between Raw and SmackDown next week, we got an extended 5-hour kickoff show leading up to WrestleMania, which will have its own kickoff show. So next week on SmackDown, you mentioned the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. They got Ricochet defending the Intercontinental title against both Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo. We'll get into how that match was set up later on. Not a good way to set up a Intercontinental title triple threat match.
Yeah.
One thing, like SmackDown the last few weeks has been on a creative lull, and it seems like a lot of that is because SmackDown got pretty decimated in the draft in October. They gutted the entire mid card of SmackDown, the entirety of it, and there's so much focus is being put on Brock and Roman. Doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of creative juices left for any other story.
All right, let's take a quick break here to get a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. So, Larson.
Yes.
I'm sure you know that relationships can take a lot of work. Many of us will drop everything and go out of our way to help someone we care about, but how often do we give ourselves that same treatment?
Yeah, several years ago, while dealing with severe anxiety, I learned firsthand how important it is to take care of the most important relationship we have in our lives, the one we have with ourselves. So I started the process of looking for a therapist. But while looking for a therapist, I also learned that it could be extremely difficult to find someone I was comfortable talking to. BetterHelp's online therapy has made that process of finding a therapist more convenient by offering video, phone, and even live chat therapy sessions. And you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours.
Remember that you are your greatest asset, so invest as much time in yourself as you do the others in your life. Check out our sponsor, BetterHelp, and right now, Going In Raw listeners can get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/raw.
That's BETTERHELP.com/raw. Before we get back to the show, let's get a word from our sponsor, Lumen. Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
Let's talk skincare.
Okay.
Now, I'm sure a lot of friendos out there are once like me. Your skincare routine probably consisted of washing your face with the same body wash or soap you use on the rest of your body and thinking, hey, this is good enough. Yeah. Well, I've got some bad news. That body wash or soap you've probably been using all these years is damaging your skin.
That's right. But with Lumen, you can drop that bottle of 3-in-1 and start using products that actually take care of your skin. Lumen's products aim to help those with stubborn acne scars, under-eye dark circles, wrinkles, sun damage, dry skin, and oily skin, and getting started is easy. All you got to do is take the 2-minute quiz on their website, and they'll tell you which skincare routine is best suited for your needs.
Yeah, I took the quiz, and I got the anti-fatigue essential set to help with these dark circles I keep getting under my eyes. And with Lumen, I know I'm getting high-quality products made with natural ingredients like licorice root extract, rose flower oil, charcoal powder, ginger, and green tea.
So level up your skincare game with Lumen Skin today. Go to lumenskin.com/raw to get your free trial of Lumen's products.
That's LUMIN skin.com/raw to get your free trial of Lumen's products. lumenskin.com/raw.
No, I agree. I think that, like, we've seen this before with WrestleManias, like leading up the last couple of weeks of the show. It's not like they really kick things into high gear. They just sort of start reiterating what we've already seen to hype it. It's just a different philosophy as opposed to, hey, pay attention to this show every week. It's, hey, we've done some stuff to build these things. We've recapped it a lot, but we're going to recap it again to drive the point home. It's like we have all this time to tell our stories with 5 hours of TV of our main roster every single week. And that's a lot of time for us to show you what we did during one of those weeks.
I know.
It's I don't know. It doesn't make for compelling weekly television, which is speaking of that. Isn't WrestleMania? And we're probably going to do the Smackdown after WrestleMania live or after the show.
Yeah.
But after that, I think we're going to start doing them. Yeah,
we're going to kind of reconfigure our schedule a bit so we don't have to work Friday nights. Yeah. And it seemed like the last few years for Mania, they have their handful of marquee matches that they spend a little bit of time to build towards. Everything else, it seems like, well, we got to fill out now 2 nights of WrestleMania. What are we going to do? Yeah. And then, like, from a week-to-week basis, they just start creating stories out of thin air just to motivate a match, get to WrestleMania, and then that's it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's they have their big matches. They got Roman Brock. They did some Roman Brock stuff tonight. It was kind of underwhelming.
It was. It started off good.
Yeah, the Ronda Charlotte stuff is unwatchable almost. The match might end up being good because Ronda's pretty decent. Ronda's okay in the ring. Charlotte's great in the ring.
Yeah,
but my God, I have no idea why they just want Ronda to talk on her own. She cannot promo. It is the sleepiest. I made a joke on Twitter. Have you seen the Shy Ronnie sketch or skit on Saturday Night Live? She sounds like Shy Ronnie. She says, Charlotte Blair, you think I'm gonna do this? It's horrible. It's just puts you to sleep.
I know.
There's nothing there.
I know. It's not the strongest stuff. It's not. Let's get into this real quick. So you have Ricochet beating Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental title with the help of Johnny Knoxville. He defends against Sami the following week and beats him clean, which he needed to do.
Yeah.
So he's got momentum. He's put on great matches.
Oh, yeah.
And then you have him in back-to-back segments lose. Yeah, I know it's via distraction. Via pinfall to Angel Garza and then count out to Humberto Carrillo because Garza's holding his leg. And like you just take all the wind out of his sails.
Yeah, I know.
Having him lose twice look, I think Garza and Carrillo are great wrestlers.
Yeah, sure.
Garza's got a ton of personality. Carrillo's really improved a lot in that respect since he joined up with Garza to form Los Lotharios.
Yeah.
Apart from like a win against New Day, Los Lotharios have not been winning a whole lot.
No, the creative is not. These two guys are really special. They are. We've seen it before. They do not take advantage of what they can bring to the table at all. They got their kiss cam gimmick, and Vince, and he likes that kind of shit. And that's fine. I like the kiss cam too. I think it's fun. But like you could do so much more with that.
I know.
With them and what they bring to the table. This just made Ricochet look stupid. Yep. That's all it was. It made him look stupid. You don't get, the cheat win or the distracted win or whatever you want to call it And then he's like, whoa, hold on a second. Come on now, let's do it again with the other one. And it happens again. Now, shame happens once, shame on you, happens twice, shame on Ricochet. It makes him look stupid.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like whatever momentum he had, whoop, gone.
Mm-hmm.
Gone.
We had, what was the actual main event match? I will say the women brought it tonight. Sasha, Zelina Vega, Shayna.
I thought that was good, and I thought Nakamura and Jimmy Uso was a solid bout.
Hey, that was a good match too. Yeah, that was a
solid
bout.
Yeah. But still, the highlight to me is hearing Pat McAfee say "poop."
Mm-hmm.
Pupe.
All that champagne smell tastes like pupe.
Yeah. I popped huge
Michael
for that.
Cole laugh, yeah. Pat was on one today. He was just trying to make Cole laugh tonight.
Yeah, he said poop a lot.
Yeah.
That was the word of the day.
Oh, poop.
Anyways, you want to get into it?
Sure. Let's see. I'm setting the timer right now. Let's try to get this done.
All right,
in
15 minutes. All right, let's go.
9 minutes. Let's try 9 minutes.
All right, so Brock, he's waiting outside Roman's locker room. So Caleb Braxton rolls up for an interview and asked, hey, fallout from last week. Brock says, yeah, I had to pay some fines. I bought Roman a new SUV, and upper management told me I have no contact with Roman unless provoked. So I'm going to go hang out in his locker room and wait for a good provoking. Mm-hmm. So he goes into the locker room and says, oh, this is nice. Not as good as mine, but not bad. And he grabs a grape that's off like the fruit and vegetable platter. He takes a seat on the couch. And so there's a coffee table in front of him. And he puts his feet up. He does it with so much force and aggression that he smashes the coffee table.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So setup is pretty decent.
Yeah, no, setup's pretty decent. He's waiting to get a good provoking.
Yeah.
As he says. After that, we had Shinsuke Nakamura versus Jimmy Uso. Of course, like you said, this was a really good match. Of course, there was all sorts of stuff going on on the outside with Jay and Boogs. The end, though, did see Nakamura. He set up for a Kinshasa. Jay lays out Boogs ringside. Shin gets distracted. He turns into a super kick from Jimmy. I thought that was done. And then Shinsuke kicked out. Jay grabs Boogs' guitar. Boogs grabs the guitar back from him and sends him into the ring post. And that allows Shin to hit a spinning heel kick and then a Kinshasa for the win on Jimmy.
Yep. Then we had our second. First, the show kicked off with a recap of the Brock Roman stuff. Then we had our second extended recap of the night, which was Kevin Owens' bit from Raw.
Yeah.
We go back from that. We're in Roman's locker again. Brock is in there eating grapes. He takes a swig of the bottle of champagne and spits it out all over the place.
Oh, it tastes like poop.
Yeah, Pat said poop for the first time. Oh, man. Then we had a Drew McIntyre interview. He's like, yeah, this match at Mania for me is different this year because it's personal with Corbin. He tried to end my career. He wasn't successful. Now that I've come back, I want to make Corbin's life a living hell. And it's made me happy. He says, I could have done him in any time, but I want to do it at the grandest stage of all of WrestleMania. And there, I'm going to wipe the grin off his face permanently.
And then we had a Happy Corbin video package. I like this because it brought back great memories of bum-ass Corbin.
Yes, this is when Pat said poop again after this.
Yeah.
He said poop, bum-ass.
Yeah, poop, bum-ass Corbin. And then so backstage, you got Corbin and Moss watching the package together. And Corbin says, my life is an inspiration. They can make a movie trilogy about me. They can give me an Academy Award for being the happiest man in a leading role after I celebrate defeating Drew McIntyre over his broken body. And then Moss says, hey, and I've got a title for that movie, Bald Fellas. Corbin's like, no.
And then just leaves.
Corbin, you know what, man? I say it every week. Corbin does really good with what he gets. Unfortunately, what he gets is poop.
So next, we were supposed to get Ridge Holland versus Kofi Kingston. We knew something was going to change because the ring announcer said being accompanied by Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston,
but he wasn't.
And then Kofi, and then there's no Woods there.
Yeah.
So Kofi had to do a promo, and he says, "Hey, Ridge, hold up. He said you're going to have a match against the New Day, but it's not going to be me, but who? It's him." I mean, it's Xavier Woods.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Xavier Woods wins in like 30 seconds, rolls up Ridge. And then Sheamus and Pete Dunne hit the ring. New Day leave.
Butch is not going to have a match. Apparently he was going to wrestle at Mania in the 6-man against the New Day.
Yeah.
He might be in the Andre.
Well, I have the graphic here now that you mentioned it because I did announce that tonight. So here's who's in the graphic. You got Hurt Business, you got Tozawa, Drew Gulak, Reggie, Shanky, R-Truth, Mansoor, Riddick Moss, Viking Raiders, Aziz, Apollo Crews, Damian Priest, Finn, Bob Roode, and Jinder Mahal.
Oh, so no Butch. What they might do, I guess, at WrestleMania is still do Woods.
It's only 17 names there.
Okay.
So
they might do Woods and Kofi against Ridge and Sheamus.
Mm-hmm.
And still Butch wouldn't wrestle. But maybe, I mean, that's only if how many people are usually in the Andre? 20?
Yeah, 20 or 30 maybe.
20?
I don't know exactly.
Maybe Butch will be in that. I mean, he'll be eliminated. He's not going to win it.
No. He should, but he won't.
Yeah, he's like one of the most talented wrestlers I have, and we're rarely going to see him wrestle.
I know.
Like, I'm preparing myself for that so that, like, when he does, I'll be like, oh, wow, great.
What a treat. What a unique
treat.
surprise.
Oh, what a unique surprise. We get 4 minutes of Pete Dunne.
I know. Get an arm stomp, maybe a finger snap.
Well, they're not going to let him do the finger stomp, man. Or the finger snap. They're going to let him do that. He's going to be just like a brawler now. He's just going to be yeah.
It is into Sheamus cosplay.
Yeah.
Let's take a break here to get word from our sponsor, Blenders Eyewear. Fresh from the sandy beaches of San Diego, California, comes the only sunglasses brand I'm ever going to wear again. Talking about Blenders Eyewear, and you're going to be just as hooked when you witness how awesome they are. I got myself a pair of Ice Crush shades. That sounds cool, man. Mm-hmm. And they're my go-to sunglasses to wear. I'm out on my morning walks or running errands.
Yeah, man. Blender's team of in-house designers are always coming up with new styles, too, like orange polarized wraparounds, tortoise shell frames with purple lenses, to classic gold arms on black lenses.
And unlike expensive big brand shades, Blenders are actually affordable and still offer the same cool factor as other leading brands. And they've got more than sunglasses. Blenders offers prescription glasses, readers, and blue lights, as well as a snow collection with goggles and accessories. So live life in forward motion with Blenders today.
To score 15% off your Blenders purchase, visit blenderseyewear.com and enter promo code RAWVIP. That's blenderseyewear.com, code RAWVIP for 15% off. Blenders, rocked with pride worldwide. And before we get back to the show, let's get a word from our sponsor, Chime. So, Larson.
Yeah.
We may be almost a third into the new year, but that doesn't mean we can't all still make a change for the better in 2022. And what better way to make a change than by getting yourself a better checking account with no monthly fees?
Yeah, fee-free 2022 sounds great to me, Steve. And with Chime, an award-winning app debit card, you'll get no overdraft fees, no foreign transaction fees, no monthly fees or service fees. You can also send money to anyone, even if they aren't on Chime. It's fee-free for you and no cash-out fees for them.
And with over 60,000 fee-free in-network ATMs, including at most Walgreens, 7-Eleven, and CVS locations, you can get your money when you need it, where you need it.
So make your first good decision of the new year and join over 10 million people using Chime. Sign-up takes only 2 minutes and does not affect your credit score. Get started at chime.com/raw. That's chime.com/raw.
Banking services provided by and debit card issued by the Bancorp Bank or Stride Bank, N.A., members FDIC. Get fee-free transactions at any MoneyPass ATM in a 7-Eleven location and at any Allpoint or Visa Plus Alliance ATM. Otherwise, out-of-network ATM withdrawal fees may apply. Sometimes pay anyone instant transfers can be delayed. The recipient must use a valid debit card or be a Chime member to claim funds.
Such that we got a Paul Heyman Matt Chat question from back of a limo, but he hands the segment off to Roman pretty quickly. Roman says, I know Brock is dying to acknowledge his tribal chief, but I've been around handling all sorts of business here in New York City, had dinner at a great steakhouse, said they spent $5,000 in sides. That's a lot of sides.
What? Wow.
Yeah. It's a lot of sides.
I don't know if that's true.
He said, I think he was exaggerating too. He says after that, they stopped at Madison Square Garden, the place where they had Brock bleeding all over Manhattan. He says, Brock, if you don't get out of my locker room by the time I get to the Barclays Center, you're going to be bleeding all over Brooklyn, too.
Smash you. After that...
you get to talk about the Ronda Rousey promo.
We had a Shy Ronnie promo. Shy Ronda promo. He says, she comes out and she says, she tells Charlotte, says, because of the power bump to the announce table, I'm not just going to take your title, the SmackDown Women's. Why do we call it SmackDown Women's title? It's a men's. I'm just gonna call it SmackDown champion. Charlotte, you're gonna hand it to her. Call it Charlotte. And then Charlotte shows up on the Tron, says, "Hey, great speech, man, but did you think you were gonna be in Brooklyn? If you thought I was gonna be in Brooklyn tonight," she says, "You don't answer. I don't answer when you call." Yeah. And Ronda says, "I know exactly who you are. Yeah, I know who I am. I'm Ronda." Did Charlotte know that when I was 14, I broke my first arm? I liked it so much. Started keeping count. Kept going till. And then Charlotte says, "I'm going to hurt Ronda plenty. You'd have to throw me off the Brooklyn Bridge to get any satisfaction." And then Ronda says, "Charlotte, it'll be the biggest when she wins. Charlotte will be the last count." After that, we had a Kayla interview. It's like, oh, I broke a bunch of people's arms when I was 14 and I really liked it. Why are you adding this new weird wrinkle into it that you were just wrecking people at 14 and you liked it? It has zero heat to it.
None. And they pipe in all the crowd responses. You see everybody just sitting down with their arms crossed.
Mm-hmm. Riley here in chat says the muttering makes me uncomfortable.
I'm going to be honest. What you just did there made me a little anxious. I'm going to be honest with you.
Ronda's promos do that to me. It makes me anxious. It's like there's no air in her lungs. It's like she expelled all the air from her lungs and then starts her promo. That's what it sounds like. Maybe she
interesting take. Maybe she does.
Maybe it's like a new Meisner technique, perhaps.
It could be. Here, I'll try to get through this by doing that. Okay.
Okay, try that. Yeah. What does he mean?
Kayla interviews Brock in Roman's locker room, offers up, and he says, "You want some rotten grapes?" He says he's not leaving. He's having so much fun. You think I can't do it?
Sounds like you're reading a letter from the Zodiac Killer.
I know. He thinks that Kayla should find Roman and tell him to get here ASAP because he's running out of things to smash.
He wants to be in the smash zone. After that, we had Ricochet versus.
Oh, sorry. He grabs the lamp and throws it.
Oh yeah, that's right. So after that, we had Ricochet versus Angel Garza. Sorry if that made anybody else anxious out there listening to this on your walk or jog or something.
So this is what happened. So Ricochet comes out first, then Los Lotharios. And so the lower third said Angel with Humberto Carrillo.
Yeah.
And so before they go to commercial, they show the graphic for the match, and it's Ricochet versus Humberto Carrillo.
Right, yeah. And then after the commercial, Michael Cole had to say, "Oh, we told you it was Humberto Carrillo. It's going to be... No, wait. We told you it was going to be Angel. It's actually going to be Humberto."
But it was Angel Garza.
It was like the other way. Yeah, it was Angel was the first one, right?
Yeah.
And Cole had said Humberto when before we went to commercial. Yeah, it felt like a clusterfuck. It felt like an afterthought. The Tonight Show felt like an afterthought.
Yeah, it did. It felt like it was all written at the last minute.
Yeah. So anyways, Angel gets the roll up on Ricochet after Humberto distracts Ricochet on the apron. Ricochet gets on the mic, says it's not going to happen like that. It's cool that you stick together, but I'm going to break up this family reunion because it's not going to happen at my expense. He says, Carrillo gets the ring and get the loss your cousin was about to get. And then we get Ricochet versus Humberto Carrillo, and this time Ricochet gets counted out because they go to the outside. Garza is under the ring, and he grabs Ricochet's foot so he can't beat the 10 count. So he loses. And then afterwards, which actually made some amount of sense because the first one was a championship contender match. You got to figure the second one was too.
It was. They said it was. And when commercial came back and said it was a championship contenders match. So you have that to next week. They have the triple threat where you have Los Lotharios both challenging for the Intercontinental title.
Yeah,
individually, not a handicap match.
Right. Yeah. So they have to go after each other here.
Exactly. So then we had a Sami Zayn interview. He's talking about how he's feeling good about things.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "There's one thing blowing my mind. People think Johnny Knoxville stands a chance against me. Johnny has no idea what he's in store for. Yes, Knoxville has his pranks, maybe car pranks, Steve. He's known for.
Is there going to be car pranks at WrestleMania?
Maybe. Apparently, Sammy's got something else up his sleeve. So Sammy says, but I'm the master strategist, and I've had nothing but time to dream up all these fantastic ways to hurt Knoxville. And I promise everybody that at Mania, Knoxville will experience punishment that has never been seen in WWE ring before. Car pranks.
Car pranks. We've never seen. Well, we've seen lots of car pranks. What was top car prank in WWE history? It had to have been the cement in Vince's car,
I was going to say that, the Corvette, yeah.
Yeah,
that's probably
a hell of a car prank.
That was a massive car prank. Tonight's car prank was pretty lame, though.
It was pretty lame. Mr. Sinich says he's bringing the cycle ninjas with him. After that, we had Austin Theory comes running out. We don't see him. He just sort of shows up and he like whacks Pat's headset off his head, and then McAfee makes chase him backstage. Austin runs into Vince's office, and of course Pat has to not go in there.
Yeah. Then we had Sasha Banks versus Zelina Vega versus Shayna Baszler versus Rhea Ripley. Probably the best match of the evening. So right before the commercial break, because it's not just the four competitors who are out there, their respective partners are out there too. Mm-hmm. So the match breaks down before the commercial break. Huge brawl. Smackdown rolls on. It comes back. All the partners have been tossed from ringside.
So everybody in chat's dropping their favorite WWE car pranks.
Oh,
Mr.
great.
Sinister says the limo blown up has to be the best one, right? Because Vince was supposed to be in it, and then he wasn't.
I know.
What a car prank that was.
Car prank. So Sasha puts a bank statement on Zelina, and then Shayna puts a wrist lock on Zelina as well.
Yeah.
And then Sasha then says, puts both of them in the bank statement. That was great.
It was really cool, yeah.
And then Rhea breaks it up with a drop kick. She goes for a riptide on Shayna. Shayna counters that with a clutch. Sasha breaks that up with like a double backstabber.
Mm-hmm.
So Shayna rolls out of the ring, and Zelina hits Sasha with a code red. Sasha kicks out. Shayna pulls Zelina out. Rhea takes out Shayna with a cannonball off the apron. Zelina hits Rhea with the Rana off the apron. She gets back in the ring. Sasha just puts her right in the bank statement. Zelina taps. It's a really fun match.
It was a really fun match. I'm not sure I like the math here because my early pick for this was Sasha and Naomi. But I'm kind of just thinking, I'm wondering, I don't know.
It might be Rhea and Liv.
I was kind of thinking that too. But it also might just be them retaining, Zelina and Carmella retaining maybe. I don't know. I know who's not winning. It's not going to be Shayna and Natalya.
Yeah.
After that, we had Roman and Paul arriving at the Barclays Center. Paul says, I don't feel so well, my tribal chief. And Roman says, you'll be fine. But Brock Lesnar won't be. Smash him.
Yeah.
Then we have a Roman Reigns promo. He asks Brooklyn, acknowledge me. And then he asks Paul if Brock is still in my locker room. Paul says, I don't know. I just know that Brock is here. That's a bad thing. Roman says, don't be afraid, wise man. It's only a bad thing for Brock. Because if Brock's still in my locker room, I'm going to go back there and put his head through the wall. Smash him. I love when he says smash him. It's my favorite thing.
Smash.
So then the Tron shows an empty but wrecked locker room. He's like, oh, the couch is on the floor. Tipped
poop.
over. There's poop. There's poop. I'm almost getting it. Poop.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not pupe. It's like the opposite. It's like poop.
Anyways. He created a new vowel, I feel like.
He
somehow
totally
combined an
did.
O and an E.
Yeah, he did.
Combined an O and an E together.
Poop.
It's hard to get. So the crowd starts chanting Suplex City. And Roman loses his cool. He says, I told you, you idiots, this isn't Suplex City. It's the Island of Relevancy. He says, it doesn't look like he's in the locker room anymore. So where is he now? And they cut in Brock's in like the parking area. And he's got a pickaxe. He starts taking it to Roman's SUV, a lame car prank. And Roman's like, I got 5 Suburbans, lame car prank,
yeah.
Brock. This is nothing to me. He says, Brock, there aren't going to be any weapons at Mania, dummy. And so Brock says, yeah, tosses the pickaxe, makes his way to the ring, but through the crowd. And he's standing at the announce table. And when he gets there, security just floods out.
Mm-hmm.
And so he goes, grabs a chair, starts taking it to security. Roman and the Usos flee up the ramp. And then Brock just beats the heck out of the security with a chair. He even chases off Pat and Michael Cole and then stands on the announce table with chair and WWE title. And then we get this awkward promo from Gorilla Position where Roman says, hey, you will acknowledge me at WrestleMania as the undisputed WWE Universal Champion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did we get that done in 9 minutes?
8 minutes and 39 seconds.
Wow, man.
Well done. Poop.
Car pranks.
After that, we had AEW Rampage. Kicked off with Lance Archer versus Dustin Rhodes. This is, they're in Dustin's hometown. That kind of just these days just sort of automatically means dude's going to go over. This time it involved an exposed turnbuckle.
Yeah. Dustin was bleeding from his ear early on in this match.
Yeah.
So like Archer's going for a blackout. Dustin just kind of collapses to the mat, and Archer looks at that exposed turnbuckle and points at it, and is like, "All right, we're going to do this now."
Yeah.
And then Dustin instead pushes Archer into that exposed turnbuckle, rolls him up for a win, and then Archer proceeds to beat the living crap out of Dustin Rhodes,
and then
makes him bleed another time.
Yeah,
all over from a different place,
and choke slams him through the timekeeper's table.
Yeah,
we have another great WWE car prank here from White Brown. He says Taker dragging Hogan is a great car prank. That was a really good car prank. When Hogan tried to start up Taker's bike and he couldn't, good car prank right there.
Good car prank. Yeah, Jay Lethal interview next. He's asked what's next, and he says back to the drawing board. He says I'm not one to complain, but I can't see past my blemishes. Those blemishes are Ricky Starks and Adam Cole. And the similarity between those two blemishes is that both Starks and Cole had to cheat to win. He says, and now they both get chances that I don't. Now they make more money. He says, there's got to be a better way. I got some thinking to do. And he walks off screen and you hear him say, there's got to be a better way.
Got to be a better way. Serenity now. Another great car prank. Boss Man dragging Big Show's dad's coffin. That's a hell of a car prank right there, man. That was a massive car prank. Let's see here. Fuego. Oh, yeah, then Fuego's in the ring, this fool. He says, from the second I stepped foot in this company, I knew nothing was going to be handed to me, and I heard commentary last week call me an undersized underdog. He says, last week I took it to the House of Black, and for a moment, all you people were chanting my name. You people believed in me. They believed in my fight. He says, so House of Black, all three of you big motherfuckers, I'm ready to fight. And evidently they were too, because the lights came down. One light comes up, Murphy's in one corner. He's wearing Wolfpack gear. And then in another corner, of course, you got that big man, Brody King. Fuego's pooping his pants.
Poop.
And then in the middle, of course, is leader of House of Black, and that's Malachi. And they just fucking wreck him. He pooped his shit out of him.
Beat the shit out of him.
Yeah,
so
they did.
House of Black leave. Dark Order comes down, steps up to him on the ramp, and then eventually Dark Order just lets House of Black pass because the next match we have is Allen Angels and 10 taking on Redragon. Before that, we had another unfortunate Dan Lambert promo, where pretty much the point of this is no more open challenges for the TNT title. That's it.
All that needs to be said.
That's what Lambert said, and Scorpio Sky said. Again, Scorpio Sky doesn't need anybody doing his talking for.
Neither does Ethan Page.
Neither does Ethan Page. This guy says, I can't be beat, but if you want a shot, you got to earn it the hard way. Consider the open door closed.
Boom.
And then we had...
It doesn't work in here.
Yeah, I can't make it work in here either. If I just had one button I could push, that
yeah, right.
all lights would go out. It'd be really effective.
Wait, here we go.
No.
It's not as smooth when I do it.
No. Oh, there we go. I saw it a little bit, but it's not... White Brownie's got another car prank. Randy Orton RKOing Hogan on the car is a legendary car prank.
Yeah. Hell of a car prank right there.
Great car prank.
Great car prank.
So we had Dark Order members, Allen Angels and 10 taking on Redragon. This match wasn't terribly competitive, although Allen Angels got a good amount of his shit in before eating the pin.
Yeah, he did.
Via chasing the dragon. Redragon didn't have to use their finish.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
They used their signature. So the Jurassic Express runs down to chase off Redragon, but then Adam Cole runs down and grabs the tag title. And runs off with them.
I like this because we've talked about this before. What do we think about the trope of stealing a title? Well, how do you up the ante? You steal all the titles. That's great. I like it a lot.
That's that. They ran the Nyla Rose promo that they put on Twitter after Dynamite this past Wednesday.
Yeah.
Again, the situation where Nyla Rose is a really good talker.
Yeah,
she can talk.
Doesn't need Vicky. And if you have to explain the point of a promo, which she actually had like a really cool, like I found out after the fact that was the same building that she.
Yeah, that's what she said. Yeah.
Yeah, she won the women's title. And then they explained it in this promo because it went up on Twitter like right afterwards.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, how much more effective would that have been if you don't go with where they went to on Dynamite? Instead, Nyla Rose just comes out and whoops Thunder Rosa's ass and says, I won the title here once. This place, I'm not going to give you the respect that you deserve. She don't need Vicky. She doesn't.
Nope.
She doesn't.
I'm Just Joe has another great car prank. Well, this wasn't that great. Miz putting finger paint in Bad Bunny's car.
Actually, pretty lame.
It was a pretty lame car prank.
It was like the most obviously
water-based stuff. Yeah, that you can just hose it off. I know.
Kind of a lame car prank. I remember at the time we thought it was a lame car prank.
Yeah, I recall that as well. So after that, Nyla Rose had a match against Maddie Rankowski. 30 seconds, Beast Bomb. Nyla Rose gets the win.
Done. After that, we had QT Marshall. He had a certificate of accomplishment to present to Hook. Now, it's great because our mods, of course, led by the amazing Maggie, gave us a certificate of appreciation. It is, here's the thing, though. Like, we are actually two people. It says here, even our own mods think that we're one person, Steven Larson. Last name Larson, first name Steven. But still, the effort and thought.
This really is a thought. I mean, it's a tremendous, prestigious award. I'm honored to be presented with it, and I hope you feel the same way, Steve. Thank you so much.
Yeah, for your extraordinary service and dedication to your profession. That's suspect. That I'm not sure about that.
Hey, man, we're working Friday nights, man.
I feel like this, we're losers and we don't have anything better to do. This right here, I feel like it's a bit too much to live up to.
I got an idea. We can start doing our Friday nights after WrestleMania.
Car pranks!
You got it, buddy.
Let's go to Walmart and do some car pranks.
God, we're going to just kill this car pranks gag.
This is the car pranks episode, and then it'll be done.
I guess so. So QT says normally a mentor to get jealous when his protege surpasses him, but not me. He says, congratulations, Hook. This is something you can tell your grandkids about. And he shows off a certificate. It's framed with glass, pane in front of this.
In a frame. It's a frame. It's a picture
frame, but it's an award. It's like presented as a major award.
Yeah. Presented as a major award.
So Aaron Solo's there. So Hook grabs Solo's head and smashes it after Solo fires off some confetti, smashes Solo's head into the certificate, and he just leaves.
Yeah,
but then Danhausen comes out in the ramp and tries to curse him, and Hook just walks right past him.
Yeah,
no selling the curse.
Didn't work. After that, we had the main event interview between Swerve and Ricky Starks. Starks says, "I have no problem with newcomers coming in." He says, "But Swerve has this sense of entitlement. That's what I have a problem with." He says, "Last time I had a house, I got evicted from it." And
last time Swerve had a house, he got evicted from.
Oh, Swerve. Talking about NXT, yeah.
Yeah.
He says he got evicted from it. The last time we went at it, I came out on top. No, who came out on top? Swerve came out on top?
Starks came out on top.
Yeah, I don't know. You got a bunch of he's in here. There's two he's talking.
Yeah, I know. I know. So anyway, Swerve says it's the same punk-ass Ricky Starks. He says the last house taught me to come in and take. He says, I'm entitled as hell, and I'm taking a Rampage and making it whose house?
Swerve's house.
Swerve's house.
And then they start yelling at each other, and Mark Henry says, would you guys relax?
Anthony Tobias is a great car prank here. Samoa Joe yelling at Regal, get better security for his SUV.
Yes.
Top 10 car prank.
That is a great car prank, yeah, because he was in a car. Then we've got, so what is going to happen on Dynamite? The Bunny taking on a new women's talent for the Owen Cup qualifier. A lot of awesome women talent out on the free agent wrestling market. So I'm excited about this, man. That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, Toni Storm, Athena, Mia Yim, Nixon Duel. A lot of good names out there.
I was thinking
a lot of good names. Hopefully Athena.
Yeah, I hope it's Athena, man.
I'm really hoping for Athena because she is awesome. Awesome.
Then we had our main event here. Ricky Starks retained his FTW title with help from a distraction. And, he distracted the ref, Starks did. And then Hobbs lays out Swerve on the floor. And then Starks hits a Rochambeau for the win.
Mm-hmm. And then so there's like three guys up at commentary with the giant Ricky Starks sign.
Yeah, one of them looked like Chris Kaufman.
A little bit. And so I had the volume low, so I didn't hear the explanation. But anyways, they came out to the ramp holding the sign up. You know, you go to like a college football game and they have that banner and they run through the banner.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I was like, okay, someone's going through that banner. Sure enough, Keith Lee comes up and tosses one of those guys with the banner. He beats the heck out of the other two. So I guess they're probably indie wrestlers from the Austin area. Mm-hmm. Hits the ring. Brawl breaks out. So I'm guessing in whether it's Dynamite or probably more likely Rampage next week, we're going to get Starks, Hobbs versus Keith Lee and Swerve.
We got another great car prank here from Wrestling Past. Enforcer mentions Goldberg severing an artery in his wrist, which was a hell of a car prank.
When he punched through the window, yeah.
Yeah. Apparently they had big plans for Goldberg because it was right after he lost his title because of the cattle prod. And then he was going to get it back. He was going to fight the entire NWO. That was Nash's idea. They were going to stack the deck against him. But unfortunately, due to car prank, Goldberg was sidelined for a while. Never came to fruition. Let's go ahead and answer some questions. If you're in the Twitch chat, go ahead and highlight some messages. I have a thread here from the Patreon at patreon.com/Steve and Larson. Great way to help support Going In Raw. Get a bunch of bonus stuff. We got a brand new, albeit a tiny bit late episode, weekly newsletter of the Kip Up that just went out today.
Okay, so Hugh Long Heavy. Wait, did you get the Kip Up out already?
Yes, it went up, yes.
Oh, thank you. I meant to tell you that I got the stuff filled in. I forgot to. Hugh Long Heavy says the guy on the right was Ricky's cobbler. The guy in the yellow shirt was Ricky's barber. Don't remember the middle guy, though.
Well, the guy on the right was Christopher Kaufman. Although Maggie claims that Kaufman says he was not at the show. So it wasn't just that he, as Maggie says here, got confused for another brown-haired, bearded white guy. This guy looked like Kaufman in the face.
Yeah, quite a bit.
Let's see here. Alex Foster says WWE decided to put on their first premium live event in space. What wrestlers do you task with putting on a great show in a zero-gravity environment?
See what you do. You got to rebrand Ricochet as Lightspeed.
Oh, yeah. Or, who would be Beal Armstrong? Kaufman's here in the chat. He says, keep my name out of your mouth. Kaufman, you were at AEW Rampage tonight.
Wow.
He subbed while saying it, though, so it's all good. Beal Armstrong.
For some reason, I feel like Jonah, formerly Bronson Reed.
Hey, that's a good.
Made a really good Beal Armstrong.
That's a good Beal Armstrong. I like that. Let's see here. Dave Matushek, likening St. Peter's run to the Elite Eight in the NCAA tournament. Which is your favorite Cinderella moment in wrestling? Oh, it's WrestleMania 30, Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, it's Daniel Bryan, yeah. Absolutely. Jorge D, in order for his locker room to not be destroyed by Brock again, Roman decides to hire some people to design a locker room so nice for Brock to stay in all night. He hires you two. What do you do? If you fail, you will be on security duty in a one-way ticket to Suplex City. I would do some... Well, this is what I would do. What we found out about Brock's interview from Brock's interview on Pat McAfee.
Yeah,
he likes to butcher meat.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
you give him his own little butcher shop in there,
like a butchering station. Yeah,
and he would be content for hours.
And then here's the thing: hey, tag me in. I got one. Here's what you do: you get like a TV and a VCR, and you put in the best of the Sable tape. Remember they had that Sable VHS tape. Mm-hmm. You put that in. Boom, you're good.
Cornbread Haas, what wrestling legend do you wish would have gotten the Goldberg treatment, winning titles, big WrestleMania and Saudi show matches instead of Goldberg? Sid.
Winning titles, big Mania and Saudi show matches, etc. I'll go with Austin. I think he doesn't need to do a big jackhammer. He doesn't concuss himself prior to shows. I think Austin, all he does, he goes out there and hits stunners.
Oh, I thought another great car prank.
Yeah.
When Roman was in the ambulance, Braun flipped it over.
What a car prank that was.
Fantastic car prank.
That was a good one. I like that. Killer car prank right there. Let's see here. Xavier Gray says, can you please explain to me why SmackDown is getting more boring to watch than Raw? Yes, it is.
They're not telling interesting stories.
Well, SmackDown and Raw, it's always cyclical. Like, while one is doing well, the other one sucks. Mm-hmm. While that one starts doing better, and then the first one's doing well again, or starts sucking.
Sucking again, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why it is. I think they have, they Vince might sort of just pay attention to one and then stops paying attention to that and goes to the other. I don't know why. But it's a pattern, and we've always noticed.
Yeah. When SmackDown's good, Raw's trash. When Raw's decent, SmackDown Underwhelms.
Shavon asks, with the unfortunate news of Triple H having to retire, what would have the ideal retirement match have been for him? Ideally, you would it would have been an NXT guy. It would have been like in a perfect universe. It would have been Finn. There's a small list of guys. It'd be either Finn,
Kevin Owens,
maybe Rollins. You could even dig a little more recent NXT, maybe like an Alistair or
Gargano.
Ciampa or Gargano. Yeah, I was thinking those names. Or Asuka. Asuka would have been great.
Oh, that would have been interesting.
I know, right? Let's see here.
Thank you, everybody, for sharing your favorite car pranks.
Oh, appreciate it. I know we couldn't get to them all, but that was really great. Let's see here. Who's next person? Sup John says John Moxley, Pac, and Julia Hart all had eye patches. Who's the next person to get one, and how will they get it? Solo's going to have one because Glass got in his eye tonight.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't top that.
Yeah. Oh, man. AEW car prank. Didn't they mess up Sue's van?
They did.
Yeah, car prank.
Mm-hmm.
There was like a bunch of car pranks going on in that New York City street fight. There
was all cars, but sorts of cars. There's pickups.
The Best Friends versus LAX or whatever.
Yeah, Santana Ortiz, yeah.
Let us know your favorite car pranks in the comments below, or if you're listening to us on the podcast version of this, please let us know what car pranks were your favorite.
Oh, Maggie says the question is, when do we get a Bardal sponsored car prank? We got that at Triple Mania a couple of years ago. Pagano and Chessman.
We did.
We got that.
Yeah, we totally did. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Oh, my God. Zondo says that car prank to that little kid's face at Impact. That kid got ran down at Impact. That was a huge car prank.
Wow.